Welcome, here we are. I'm just so happy to be here with you. I'm going to have a little drink from my mug. Do you like it? Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful gift. It really is making me think about some swag. It's so beautiful. I just wanted to share this with you. I love it. I'll have some water later. Thank you for the gift giver, and thank you to all of you for being here. I'm wearing my cherry blossom outfit today. Okay, so when Rochelle and I planned this month, I knew I wanted to do a month of living abundant for May. May's a beautiful month. I love May. I knew I wanted to feature the cherry blossom emoji as our theme emoji. And look, Rochelle, you even got it in the chat there, which is perfect. And so I'm like, today I'm going to wear my cherry blossom outfit. Okay, enough of that silliness. I just wanted to say hello to all of you. Thanks so much for being here. Hilarious, right? Gosh, this shirt is bright. I wanted us to mention our next live is coming up very soon. If you have your PDF, it's on the 19th, which is this Sunday. If you're in Canada like I am, it's in the middle of the long weekend. That's okay. In fact, it might be easier for you to join us in the live session. We're going to be talking about, we're going to be meditating on the 19th in line with the prompt for the day on feeling reverence for self. And I know some of you struggle with how to practice greater self-love, and it's a wonderful opportunity on a Sunday for you to join us for a live session. And I was saying it can be difficult to practice self-love. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to kind of find that rhythm and that balance and that mojo. So we're going to be really focusing on the ways in which you can hold greater reverence for yourself in practicing greater self-love in this month of living abundant. I'm going to dive right in. Do you have your materials? Our workshop consists of pen and many forms of paper. I'd love for you to keep your mind open as we go forward. I want to invite you to hold space for what will be the core values that you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life. And so in today's workshopping live session, we're going to talk about what core values are. I'm going to share with you a couple of different tools and exercises that really open you to embodying new core values. Some of you who have maybe worked with me before have dove into the whole notion of core values because it's been part of what our coaching or our therapy experience has lended to. But I was thinking about this, how many of us really identify our core values and post them, like have them where we can see them near our computer or on our fridge or anywhere where they're going to be more prevalent. And how many of us will do what we're going to do today, which is create mantras for them and walk around in your life rehearsing them, and all towards this greater practice, this greater elevated consciousness of living your core values in a very big way. So I'm excited to share this with you. It's going to be simple. I love simple. Simple works, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to require an openness because I'm going to ask you to go big, to think big, and please let yourself do that without any inhibitions, okay? Because you'll see the importance of that as we go. So I have a few words I'm going to just share with you to introduce what core values are. And I have this wonderful way of thinking of them. Core values act as metaphors for living in great abundance of life's highest ideals. You live your core values as a distinct and privileged way of living remarkable. I don't know what your goals are for this year. If Rochelle, if you have a moment to, there's a really lovely wisdom note that's what's your word for 2024. It's really a great wisdom note to listen to at any time of the year, maybe at the time of your birthday or a new season. But if you can share it out, the link, please, because it would be a great primer for you to think about, okay, what are some of my bigger goals? Goals and core values certainly act together. Core values act as guiding incentives, peak performance ideals, and the daily practices that become instinctive. What are core values? They are the ideals you believe in, that you stand for, that raise your level of awareness and being to reveal the highest conditions for living life itself. Think of it as this most immensely incredible way of living and being, and what ideals, what values embody that. And Rochelle, I'm sorry to ask again, if you could, this is really one of my favorite meditations for many reasons. If you could please, Rochelle, share out the highest self visualization. It's found in meditation in the Evolve section, and it's also found in the spirituality content, because it's a very spiritual practice to connect with your highest self. And thank you for that. I ask that you share that because as you think about what your core values are, I want you to think about, in this session and beyond, bigger, more. I want you to think bigger than you've ever thought before, because that is how you become more. And in this month of living abundant, there's no restrictions, there's no limits. It's ceaseless, boundless, endless to what you can create. And the way that you embrace new core values, and core values that you have been working towards, is that you must practice them. You must walk around as though you are embodying them, and this allows you to make decisions and choices that align you with those values. There are no greater core values than to be love, to be loving kindness, to be wholly honest and truthful with yourself first, and of course with others, for this will evoke you to live authentic and to who you truly are. And living authentic could be one of your core values. Perhaps you've struggled with pleasing others, or living a set of standards or practices that you were taught that don't really fit who you are. I mean, living authentic is such a huge core value. It's such a beautiful one. As you choose your core values, as you name them, as you will today, they become the guideposts of your present authority, of the objectives and ideals that you stand for and live in acceptance of, and as this serves to direct the way in which you live your life moment by moment. I'm going to share with you toward the end this really powerful way of putting your core value front and center that makes you very attentive to it, which then draws the energy of this core value into your being in a very direct and powerful way. It works, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So we're going to be naming our core values, and to know that your list can be long, I expect it will be, and that's okay. And we're also going to focus on, one or two that you really want to bring to light in a bigger way as well. Imagine the elevation of how you think and live with the highest core values and ideals in practice. I'm going to invite you first to consider what core values you already hold. I'd like you to take a moment now and write these. I'm not going to yet give you examples. I want you to just freeform this, because this is how your creativity really sets a beautiful course. So your core values, your highest core values, are these great ideals that you ascribe to and believe in and stand for. And think about what core values you already hold. And I'll give you a moment or two, I'm going to do this with you, to write 5 or 6, 3 or 4, however many you come up with, the core values that you already have. You may also want to think about some of your unique traits that, however you came upon them, they could be considered core values. Okay. What are the core values you already hold? That's the first question. And you can write your core values as single words, as I am statements, as phrases, whatever works for you. Okay. How are you doing? Step 2. So you have a few core values that you already embrace, embody. Next, I'd like you to consider how each of these core values affects you in a positive way. So you want to identify how each core value is like a superpower for you, okay? I'll give you another few moments to do that. How do each of your core values impact you in a positive way? It's really important to make that connection between the core value that you have, that you currently hold, and the positive impact it holds in your life. Okay. Next, I want you to think, so we're going to hold on to these. Next, I want you to think about what are the core values that you want to include in your life, that you want as a part of your life, and that are important to you now. So maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 weeks ago, wasn't as important, but it is now. And please don't be concerned if you don't have this or have embodied this just yet. Just be willing to announce it, to name it for yourself, and declare it as, hopefully, as a new core value that you will want to live by. So we're next writing one or any of the core values that you would like to embody that are important at this time in your life. And I'm going to give you one more little step here. For each new core belief that you want to embody, create one action, one directive for how you can begin to practice and live it now. So if your new core belief is you want to embody being love, one way you could you might write that you can practice it, is to practice being more kind in your words to yourself and about others and to others. So think about a core belief you want to bring into your life and one step, one action towards embodying it now. You don't need a lot of new ones, but you want to choose a core value, an ideal, a highest standard, highest practice that is important to you at this time in your life. And again, one action that will bring you to that, towards that each day. I think of being healthy or more healthy as a core value, and there's always steps we can take to live that each day. How are you doing? All right. I'm going to do something next, which will be fun. So up to now, it's been like this free flow of creative energy, and some of you might be like going, core value, or maybe you're even, thinking about, okay, well, what more core values could I have? Let me read from a list some of the core values that maybe you hadn't thought about, maybe are important. And I feel like we're going to put this in the PDF together. I feel like it's kind of important. So, and by the way, on that note, Rochelle is preparing, we're going to both work on it, but I know Rochelle's got this huge inspiration for a core values quiz. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to help to just have you identify further some of your highest core values. Here's a few that maybe you've thought of, maybe these are new for you. Accountability as a core value. Personal fulfillment. Fun as a core value. Belonging as a core value. So if any of these strike you as being super important, please write them down. How about achievement as a core value? Maybe there are things that you still want to achieve for yourself. Self-discipline. I like the word self-governance. We were talking about self-governance recently. Self-governance or self-discipline. Maybe that is a core value. Honesty. It's one of mine core values. Kindness. Another one of mine. Core values. That could be one of yours, I'm sure. Optimism. How does that feel for you? Financial stability could be a core value, and you may want to think about what exactly that means for you. Faith in whatever that means as a core value. How about excellence? I often use the word, and I used it today. Remarkable. It was actually my word for 2023, and if you do listen to the wisdom note for 2024, it's all about choosing a word that becomes your word for the whole year. And for 2023, my word was remarkable. It's really a good word. I'm just saying. So that could be one of your core values. That was a big share. Here's one: freedom. Freedom is a core value, whatever that means to you. And one more, and there's so many, right? But perseverance, how does that feel for being a core value? And there's so many more. I feel like this core value list is going to be important. Okay, so you've got a few more ideas now for what core values could be for you. And what I'd like to do as we kind of round out the workshop session here is, this is where I'd like you to think a little bit bigger. So you've thought about the core values you currently hold. You've thought about core values that you would like to grow into, to embody. You've heard a few of, there's so many different core values, and you've heard a few to give you some ideas. Now I'm going to ask you this. What is one exceptional core value that you can dream of, that elevates you beyond what you might imagine possible? And I want you to name it. I want you to allow it to be really big. Like, there's no limit. Like, if you want to, whatever, I'm not gonna, it's gonna be yours. But think about a core value that's really big, bigger than you, bigger than your life right now, bigger than what you've imagined. Take a moment to do that. It's when we get to dream that we think about these. And how would you name it? What is it? Is it a word? Is it a phrase? Is it an I am statement? Let yourself dream, imagine big. Okay? Write it down. That's important. And I'm going to give you one final practice for today. With this, we'll call it big, incredibly big new core value, I want you to practice walking around in your life for one day, maybe for an hour, hopefully for a whole day, repeating this core value as a mantra and meditating on it and visioning it and imagining yourself as having embraced and living this core value. You can do it for 1 hour, do it for a whole day, put it somewhere where you can see it. I encourage you to do all of the above. Write it, place it somewhere where you can see it, not only for one day, but for several days. In fact, I'm going to also encourage that if you are ready, if you're up for the challenge, that you rehearse and practice and vision this big core value for as long as you need to, until it becomes really well rooted in you, until it becomes a part of you. And maybe it doesn't mean that, oh yes, the yacht, the core value, whatever the core value was, right? Something really big. I'm a this, I'm a that. I've accomplished this. It doesn't always mean that core value needs to show up in a physical, material way, but I want you to feel as though it's become a part of you. You'll feel it when it happens. It'll be like a sense of knowing, a sense of this internal assimilation, this merging. And that's when you know that, okay, it's a part of me. And however it shows up or continues to show up in your life, it will be that in different ways. But what's important is that you ingrain it, you live it, you own it first within you. And that happens from the practice of saying it, visioning, writing, reminding, living as if it is already here, whatever that core value is. If it's confidence, if it's incredible confidence, what does that feel like? What does that look like for you? How do you walk around when you're incredibly confident? So it's about practicing the embodiment of your core value, your incredible core value. And that's my practice for you. Those are all the practices that I'd love to share with you. And I know, because I was doing this yesterday. I was walking around. I've done it before, and I was doing it yesterday, and I know it works. I know that it is a practice, and it's important to keep it not only front of mind, but also in your heart as something that's really desired, really wanted, and just let it become a part of you. And you'll see how it shows up in your life in very physical, material ways in time. Absolutely. Thank you. That's it. I hear somebody wanting to go outside, out the other side of the door. So if you wish to share with us as we post the replay later today, if you wish to share any of the core values that you have identified for yourself, that you have challenged yourself to live as, please, we would always love to hear from you. And I hope that you found this to be helpful and insightful and motivating, because remember, in this month of living abundant, everything is possible. And so, yes, Kitty is wanting to go outside, yes. And so this is how you do it. This is how you truly embrace the impossible and you make it possible. Thank you. Wonderful. I will see you all on the 19th, I hope, and you can also watch the replay. Catch the replay of today's live a little bit later today. And thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. So great that you are here. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you again. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.